when I set this variable to 3, remember if we go to our animations event, it's shifting from a charging to a attack animation. So that's it right there. When I have that equal to 3, I have another event here called firearms. I don't know why I spelled that with a Z. I just see this now, but for some reason I needed firearms with a Z. Anyways, once it's equal to 3, the trigger condition will be a parallel process, which means this will loop. So what's going to happen is the sound effect punch 4 is going to play on a loop with a 0.0 times 5 seconds delay, and which will give it that sort of a gunshot sound effect. I couldn't find a proper like gunshot.wave file, so I had to go with the default RTP punch 4, which sufficed for my needs. You might be a bit more strict when creating your own battle system, but let's see. So that happens right there, and then we have another variable here, enemy 1 any action. So it's set to 5. If we go back to our enemy animation event, you can see that when it's equal to 5, it's the wolf hurt. So this gets looped constantly, which makes sense. You know, the wolf is getting fired at, and you want to show an animation where, you know, he's taking, or it appears to be taking damage. And I have a battle animation here, punch A over the wolf event, just to, you know, add some more animation, visual cues. You know, you kind of want to show that he is getting attacked. I have a play sound effect, monster 2, and then I have a move event, hero avatar. So that's our you know, hero event, and I just have a move up and move up, and that's just to kind of make it so he's jumping in the air. And that's the effect that I was going for, so I had 2 move ups with a proceed movement, and then after that I have a move down, 2 move downs, and then I have a show battle animation, and I have another one of these just because the onslaught continues. It's not quite over yet, with a proceed movement following that, and I made a battle animation here, so let me show you guys how I did that. If I go to animations and go all the way down here, I created this this battle animations, these graphics in Photoshop, and you can see I just have numbers here, so 0 through 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are the same ones I use in my game. You know, you can create your own numbers, whatever font you want. Just make sure that anti-aliasing is off. You don't want to throw off the transparency, because you can only have one color as your transparent background with this particular engine. I think VX and the XP engines are a bit more complex. And then I just have a miss and EXP, you know, things like that. But anyways, so this is, I just named this animation entry 1. You can see if I shift through the frames, it starts at a high transparency, goes to low transparency, and moves from right to left, back to right, and then increases transparency again. How you get this effect is, let me show you guys firsthand. So I'm gonna create 2 new entries or arrays, and I'm going to, I can just go to animation type, go here. Now if I try to do it within this editor, within this window, you can see that I can't really move it as smoothly. So if I try to increase it like that, let me do, if I try to increase it like that, one at a time, and there, and I hit play, you can see it's kind of weird. It's not really as smooth. There's no transitions with, you know, transparencies. So instead, what I'm going to do is click on that image, set the transparency to 100, and instead of doing it 1 frame at a time, I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to delete these frames, and I'm gonna paste it on 10, and then I'm gonna move it up here and 1 to the right, and then I'm gonna decrease the transparency back down to 0 so it's visible. I'm also going to increase the magnification to, let's say, 150 so you guys can see it better. And same thing here. Actually, let's just do 100. And yeah. Now, you might go through this and it doesn't really work. You know, it's only appearing in 2 frames out of 20. What you want to do is do autocomplete like that right here, and go to frame range 1 through 10. And you want to have all of these checked: image selection, magnification, and transparency. Hit OK. Now what it's going to do is it's going to, from frame 1 through frame 10, it's going to fill in frames 2 through frame 9 on its own, based on the positions, transparencies, hues of the frame 1 cell and the finishing frame 10 cell. So now if we hit play, you see it's a bit more smoother. And you just want to do the same thing again. So frame 10, I'm going to click frame 20 there, and I'm going to move it here and just do an autocomplete frame range 10 through 20, hit OK, and now if I play, you can see I want to move this up 1 more and autocomplete. Now if I play, you can see it's a lot smoother. So that's how you kind of give your some of your battle animations, particularly numbers and battle values, a nice smooth animation. Now if you want to, I'll name this 1 again, 1A maybe, and if you want to copy that and do 2, you don't have to do everything again. You can just do a mass modify, and the affected frames, I have to play around with this sometimes, so I'm not sure if I'll get it right on the first time, but you want to select all of these frames because you're gonna change the graphics for all of them. And the affected cell is going to be it's either 1 or 2, maybe 2, and we're going to choose an image selection of, let's try that, image selection of 3, let's try that. It's a bit of a guessing game for me. There we go. So you can see affected cell, so cells are these right here. Each of these is a cell. You want to choose the proper one, and then image selection. So this is going to be image selection 1, 2, 3. So I just changed the image selection to 3 for the affected cell of 2, and that basically switched the graphics. So 1, this graphic right here in the cell, becomes 2, the graphics here in this cell. So that's just a quick way of doing it. If you wanted to do 3, you know, mass modify, image selection 4, and then play, you can see 3 is there. So that's how you do essentially do it. But let me get back here. So battle animation 1 right here is what we use, and then we have a variable operation mob 1 HP plus 1. That's just going to be the monster's health. And then we have a enemy 1 any action set back to 1, which is its standing pose. Hero 1 any action set to 6. Let me show you what that is again. 6 is just going to be his fallback pose, so that right there, just to show that he's going back into place. And then we have a move event, so we're just moving the hero back right, 12 times or whatever it is. And remember, you want to ignore impossible moves to be checked. Proceed with movement, and then we're going to change the hero's action and animation back to the value of 1, which is his standing animation. So that's going to be your hero 1 any action variable. That's just what I named it. You can name it whatever you want. Then we're doing a switch operation. We're turning the mob turn switch on, and we're turning the hero turn switch off, and we're also turning the halt action switch off. So remember, you want to do all that. When hero turn switches off, even if you select attack, which is this entire event right here, this entire page right here. Even if you select magic, which is this entire page right here, even if you select run, nothing's going to happen because all of these pages have the precondition of hero turn needing to be on. And because you're turning halt action off, remember this page right here, this event will go back to page 1 and you'll be able to choose your next plan of attack, whether it's attack, whether it's items, whether it's run, whether it's magic. You'll be able to select that from your battle menu while the monster's attacking. And then we're doing so mob turn on, and that is going to go here now. This is our mob turn on event, so preconditions switch mob turn on needs to be on, and then we're just going to do a 0.5 second wait just to give the character enough time to go back into place after an attack or whatever. And then we're going to do an enemy 1 any action variable, set the value to 2, and then set the value to 3. And if we go back here, the enemy 1 action values of 2, we'll have this. It's kind of like a warning stance, I suppose you could say. And immediately after, we're just going to do a charge. So he begins by going through a imposing, aggressive stance, and then it goes directly into this charge animation. So that's what we're doing there. And right after, we're going to have a play sound effect, monster 2, and move event. We're just moving that wolf event with a phase mode on. We're moving it right 12, move to the right events. Remember the ignore impossible move, and proceed with movement. Then we're doing a enemy 1 any action is equal to the value of 4. A value of 4 is going to be its charge, or not its charge, its attack. So this is a value of 4. It's going to be this animation right here, its attack animation. And so that's that. Then we're going to do a hero 1 any action of 6. So remember, that's the fallback. Just to show that the hero is getting hurt, we're going to do a show battle animation, wolf claw, over the hero avatar event. Play sound effect, hero hurt 2. If you had a couple of sound effects for the hero being hurt, you could do that. Set variable, that variable operation with the hero sound effect, and you can do a random number between 0 and how many ever sound effects you have for use, and then you can do a conditional branch and do it that way. But I only used one sound effect with a 0.9 second wait, and then we're going to do a change event location. I tried to do a move event location, so after this event goes right 12, I tried to do a move event to move it back left 12, but for some reason it wasn't working for me. So I had to kind of be creative and get around that. What I did instead was I did a change event location, which can be found on page 2 for your event commands. So right here, change event location, and I just did a event. I had wolf, and then I changed it back to its starting location, starting position. And then I have a show battle animation, hero avatar, with that 1 being displayed over the event, hero avatar. We're changing the hero HP, that's the hero's health, so we're changing that variable +1. We're changing the hero 1 any action variable to 1. Remember, that's the standing animation. And then with a 0.1 second wait, and then we're changing the enemy 1 any action to 1 also, and that's the enemy standing animation. Then we have a hero turn on, mob turn off. So we're turning this off, and we're turning hero on. And so let's go back here. Now hero turn on is set back onto back on, and that will ensure that the player can choose from the GUI one of the 4 options, and when the player presses enter, that they will be able to follow through on those actions. So we went over the attack coding